Welcome back to the Worry-Free Retirement. The past 2 weeks, our case studies have focused on helping savers bridge this huge gap that exists between the mountain of work and what we call the mountain of retirement. Hopefully, the case studies I've shared on this whiteboard today have given you pause to just how daunting this task, this journey, can be, especially if you're trying to get there from here to there on your own, or worse yet, allowing a financial advisor who is ill-equipped in the art of retirement planning to serve as your guide. Last week's Bible segment dealt with a similar daunting task, one of how to get from the mountain we currently exist on, doing life, that is called the mountain of the world, to the mountain of hope we call God. Yet, this journey can be quite frustrating as we are reminded of just how wide this chasm is between here and there, and that on our own, there is no way for us to cross this chasm. Realizing that man is unable to make the journey alone, God in His grace and mercy provided some 2,000 years ago a way over by building a bridge from here to there, one that is free of charge and only requires faith on our part to walk across it. And as the Apostle Paul reminds us, unlike the journey of trying to figure out who to trust with our money and how to keep the rest of the world from taking it from us, this journey from here to there requires no effort other than the decision to turn and start walking. Oh, speaking of grabbing your walking stick and walking by faith, my first attempt to explain this process of perfecting your walk in retirement was initiated by this book penned in 2003 called Perfecting Your Walk in Retirement, a book whose purpose was to provide a balance in our lives by understanding this concept of man, money, and God. The book even included an accompanying study guide for Christians to use for further assistance in their journey. Realizing my book's title made no sense to savers looking to retire, I then changed the title of the book to The Worry-Free Retirement and then created the process I use in my practice today that has been able to help thousands of savers worry less about money, which is, of course, called The Worry-Free Retirement. I guess as the old saying goes, God truly works in mysterious ways. So how then does such a bridge forged by a cross and built by God's Son help us worry less about the temporary things of the world? And more importantly, why did God have to go to all this trouble to provide us a way from here to there? The answer is sin. You see, the reason this huge chasm separating man from God exists in the first place is because mankind is sinful, which simply means we are separated from God. This sinful state we desperately exist in is described by the Apostle Paul as a condition that haunts him to continue to do the things that he would rather not do, say, nor think. Of this condition of dealing with sin and the dastardly results it produces, the late great Charles Spurgeon has this to say. He said, "Christians can never sin cheaply. They pay a heavy price for iniquity. Transgression, which simply means acting upon these sinful thoughts, destroys peace of mind, obscures fellowship with Jesus, hinders prayer, and darkens our souls." And since nobody's perfect, and we, like Paul, will continue to struggle with sin, this is why God, and only God, could bridge that gap from here to there, and He did it with a cross that now gives mankind access to walk towards the light of God and away from a life of fumbling and bumbling around on a world full of darkness. A world that is unwilling and unable to accept this finished work of Christ and the power of God's cross. So the good news, we by faith and turning and walking across this bridge now have access to God. We do not have to let the world dupe us through its temporary offerings, but now, having heard the good news and seen the light, you and I can begin our journey to perfection. And that, my friend, is a journey that brings some good news that you and I can take to the bank.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.